Everybody to the Frog Hollow Trail. A lot of planning, a lot of hard work went with the administration to make this happen. So thank you for coming out today for this wonderful dedication of four wonderful people that served this city for over 54 years total. That's a big deal, 54 years, 5 decades that we've had of services of people here today. And I can tell you that I was fortunate enough to work with each and every one of them. When I first became a councilman, I worked with Max a little bit, and I remember working with Roger Lewis on my first campaign when I lost. Maybe it's because he was working with me, I don't know. But he helped me in a lot of different ways and told me the processes, everything I needed to do to get elected. So I'll always remember those special moments. So we're going to have a few people come here today to speak a little bit about each one of the recipients here of each one of the plaques, to tell us a little story about their life and how much it meant to the city and to themselves. I'm not going to take up everybody's time here. It's very important that, you know, we recognize when people do great work in the city of Martinsburg. A lot of individual people that we want to recognize a little bit more, but this is what the city council, I can't thank the council enough for coming to a resolution on this, to be able to make this a moment for the cities that we can, hopefully we don't have any more that we have to put here, but if that should happen, we have spots here for individuals if that should happen again. The first person I'd like to call up, is there anybody here from Max Parkinson's family? Well, again, Max was a guy that if you want to know anything about real estate, he'd tell you how to do it, you know, and he was a guy that, as far as my knowledge of him, he knew a little bit about everything. And when I first became a councilman with the city of Martinsburg, he helped me with how the process was, because I don't know about anybody else, but in the first 6 months of being elected and not having that background of being an elected official, it's very important that I tried to find somebody that's going to help and guide me through those situations, and he was one of them, so I'm very appreciative of that. Next, Roger Lewis. Roger Lewis was a gentleman, a man that I remember sitting at his house, having not only conversations about the city, but also private conversations, and it's an honor to have Mary Lewis come up here and speak a little bit about Roger.
I'm not going to stand exactly where you stood.
Stand wherever you want.
Because I think I saw you squinting because of that sun, so I'm going to stand right here. I can't thank the city enough. I think this is really a wonderful tribute to all of our public officials who have passed during their terms of office. And a very, very special moment. I remember when Mark Baldwin contacted me last year, and Andy and Kevin, and I figured this was going to take like quite some time, and it's really lovely. And thanks to Public Works and to our landscaping service, I think they've done a lovely job. Lovely job. Mm-hmm. I was here a couple days ago, and as I said to Jeff, doing one of my decompression, losing a football game walk, and it looked really, really great, really great. Anyway, most of you, or many of you, do know Roger's whole mantra was caring for the heart of Martinsburg, and simply he was a passionate advocate for his Ward 4, his beloved Ward 4, and a fierce defender of the city of Martinsburg, and a promoter of the city of Martinsburg and the people. I can't say enough of, and I could go on and on with all kinds of stories, but you know, we came here because Roger wanted to semi-retire after being gone for 45 years, and he decided that he wanted to make a difference, and that's why he ran for council. He wanted to give back to the community that, you know, kind of nurtured him and made him who he was. So we moved back, and And it was a wonderful, wonderful opportunity in working in Ward 4. Ward 4 is a very diverse ward. We've got our businesses, we've got private homes, we've got rentals. It's a really eclectic, diverse ward, and each area has its own little pockets. And Roger addressed each one of those and was very vocal at council meetings, as Kevin and any of you who were on council with him know. So anyway, with that, I will thank you again for showing up. I mean, this is really a beautiful day, and thank the city again. Kevin, thank you. Andy, Mark, all of the council, thank you very much. Very sweet.
Thank you. Yeah, again, let me thank Mark and Andy when we first discussed this idea, and then the one that really kicked us off with Crystal. If Crystal didn't do all the hard work and the background work, we wouldn't be standing here today doing what we're doing. So thank you all. Thank you for Jeff, your department, and everybody that's done a lot of work here. Next up, we're going to have one of the Baker boys come up and talk about Mark Baker. And I got to tell you, the one that he used to talk about all the time was you guys. I won't tell you the story.
Most of them might have been good. So just want to thank everybody that was responsible for putting this together, and the memorial for the four that are honored here today. My dad was first elected to office in 1984, and I was just 8 years old. Time Dad thought that he could make a difference, saw some things at City Hall and running the city that he thought he could make a difference and change. And much different atmosphere in the city then, different problems. The facilities, the vehicles, the resources that the city employees have now, they have no clue of what it was in '84. Budget constraints, there was many issues that he had that was a challenge. He served 8 years. He decided at that point it was time for him to step aside and allow some new thoughts to come into place. And after that, after he served his second term in 1992, he continued in public service, and he worked out at the Department of Highways for 20 years. So he continued with serving the public in that manner. After he retired, he decided that he was at a different stage of his life, and he thought it was time to run again, and that he could, from the time that he served his first terms, he had a different perspective. The city of Martinsburg had changed, and he decided to run. He was elected. Unfortunately, he passed away way too early for us, and he wasn't able to fulfill that term. So, but he loved his community, loved the city of Martinsburg, and he put a lot of time and effort into those ventures. So, once again, thank you for everybody that had anything to do with putting this together.
Last but not least, one of the biggest cheerleader for the city of Martinsburg, who loved this city more than anything, who was the first female mayor of the city of Martinsburg, who was gone way too soon. And it just so happens today is her birthday. And it was not planned that way. It was not planned that way. I got up today and I saw something from Karen saying today was Harriet's birthday. And I went like this, go figure. So we know that she's here with us today. It's her birthday, and I've asked Karen to come up and say a few words.
I'm not as good as everybody else to wing it, so I wrote it down. So, Harriet Johnson loved Martinsburg and everything about it. Born and raised here, there was no better cheerleader for Martinsburg than Harriet. She and her husband Tom were two very special people who are missed daily. After her retirement from a 37-year career with Verizon, Mrs. Martinsburg poured herself into her city in every way possible. Her contributions to the city of Martinsburg have made our community stronger, and her legacy is long-standing. She served on the Martinsburg City Council as an at-large council member for 4 years, was an active member of Main Street Martinsburg for 15 years, chair of the Housing Authority, and a volunteer and supporter of so many nonprofit causes that it's not even able to be counted. In 2020, Harriet became the first female mayor of Martinsburg, and she, and all of us, were so proud. She said that she wanted big things to happen, and she hit the ground running and didn't stop. When Harriet was running for mayor, she wanted to expand opportunities for people of all races, creeds, and incomes in the community. She wanted good jobs and to support the small businesses. She really wanted everyone in the city to thrive and be successful. She wanted what was best for everyone. Another wonderful thing about Harriet is that she had friends that became their family over the years. Through laughter and tears, these lifelong friendships blossomed into bonds that transcended time and circumstance. This incredible friend group supported one another through life's challenges and celebrated each other's successes, comforted one another when a life was difficult, and created a tapestry of love and shared memories. One thing about Harriet is that she was loved beyond measure. Harriet would also take pride in taking our children, Franny and Adam, everywhere in the city and telling them the history and how they fit into all that. She loved sharing stories of growing up in Martinsburg and how she wanted to make Martinsburg the best it could be for their generation. This was incredibly impactful to our children, and we are forever grateful for the time that they got to spend with Harriet. She was so incredibly special to our family. Harriet was indeed something special, and the city of Martinsburg was lucky to have her for those 71 years. Ironically, today is Harriet's 75th birthday. Happy heavenly birthday to Mrs. Martinsburg.
I want to thank everybody that shared the stories of each and every one of them, and I'm going to end with this. Though they are no longer with us, their spirit lives on in our work, and we continue to do the lives we touch and the progress we strive for every day. Let us honor their memory by upholding the ideals they cherished and continue the work that they had begun. Thank you for coming.